mind if I put the work in? Flaws and all, I love them all. Don't be a perfect. Baby girl, you got it, girl. You got it, girl. You got it, girl. You got it, girl. 'Cause I don't want.
Hey y'all, it's your girl, Riri from Texas. Thank you for coming in. Make sure you like and subscribe. Today's video is going to be a concealer video. I'm strictly showing you guys how to apply concealer. In this video, I will be using my Tarte Shape Tape. I love this concealer. It is a full coverage concealer. My shade I'm using is Tan Deep Honey. I'm also going to use Tan Deep Sand as well. I'm sorry, this is my smaller one. So this is more of a darker color and this is a lighter color. I will show you guys how I use both. I also will be showing you guys how I set it with my setting powder. And the tools that I'm going to be using is going to be a sponge, a makeup sponge from Sephora. And then I have this brush because I want to show you guys how to apply one side with the brush and one side with the actual sponge. So I open my concealer. I like to start under my eyes. This is like my perfect shade, y'all. When applying a concealer, if you want it to brighten and highlight, you need to do it 1 to 2 shades lighter. Obviously, this is around 2 shades lighter. I take it on my chin, right above my lip, the tip of my nose, the bridge of my nose, and my forehead, and under my eyes. When I first used to conceal, when I first started highlighting, I did not used to do my forehead. And that was so many years ago. But I think it's because when I tried to conceal my forehead, it just did not come out good. And at that time, I was not using, this would be more like a creamy eyeshadow. I was using eyeshadow. This would be more of a creamy concealer. At that time, I was using more of a thick consistency, so it was so hard for me to blend out. Yeah, I'm glad I'm over with that point in my life, okay? So, I'll be using a sponge for these 2 areas, and then I'll use the brush for my forehead, and then over here so you guys can see the difference. The brush is for more of a full coverage look, and the sponge, you can still create a full coverage look with a sponge, but you may have to add additional products because the sponge does soak up a little bit more products. And when you're using a sponge, make sure that it is damp. This is already damped. So I'm just pressing it in like this. Make sure you're not swiping. Make sure you're actually pressing it in, picking it up and pressing it back down until it blurs out. Now I did use this same sponge to apply my foundation, which is at the bottom of it. So I will take the back part and just blur those heavy lines out around it. I really like that trick. You see how I kind of did that? It just went in and it blurred it out. And I can do the same up here. Now, even if you do not have foundation on the end and you're just using concealer, you can use the same technique. All right. Grab my nose. Take it on up the bridge and just connect it. So you would notice that I did leave a space right here and a space right there because it's so much product, it's just going to connect, and you don't want to over product your face. That's just, yeah, you don't want to put too much product on your face. A little goes a long ways, and you can always add. So I'm going to take the brush and I'm going to use the same motions. And I'm just picking it up, and I'm actually controlling the most part in the middle right here. Just keeping it right here, controlling it. And then and you can see that it is more full coverage when you do use a brush, and it's easier to control the product in one area. And then you can go on the ends and kind of pull it out a little bit. Now this, you can pull out like that. You don't have to, or you could actually use the same motions to pull it out and press it upwards. That's good. Or I take light strokes and then pull it out. But it's already blurred and it looks so good already. So I'm gonna go in with my sponge on this side so you guys can see. I look up so I can make sure I'm pushing it as close to my waterline as possible. I take it down the bridge of my nose, I take it down the side of my nose. And I'm still controlling all of this product within this area before I pull it out. So I'm still pressing it in and keeping it controlled within this area. Then I will take it to my hairline. So that's how you get that created, that snatch look. But I control it right here first before I take it into my hairline. And I'm really not a fan of that snatch look as much anymore. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna blur this line out. I still like to look snatched, but I don't like to look like line defined snatched. I like to look seamlessly. And you can use that same technique at the bottom again. Just so that you do not see the lines. So I'm gonna go on this side with a brush and I'm gonna use the same technique. I'm gonna keep it controlled within the area and then I'll pull it out. I'm gonna look up. This may actually even be easier for you to do with a smaller brush. If you do use a bigger brush, the only reason I'm using this brush is because of how thick it is, and it will control it and move it without like swiping it. So today is a laundry day for my brushes, so I'm limited. But this brush is good, it still works. And I'll pull that out to my hairline as well. Okay. So as you can see, this is a little bit more full coverage than over here. And this is the brush and then this is the sponge. All right, leave a comment below and let me know, do you like the outcome of the brush or the sponge? All right, so that is how I apply concealer. I am actually going to save, I'm actually going to save how I apply my setting powder to the next video. So make sure you follow and subscribe so that you can see how I apply setting powder without getting my face creased. And yes, let's go. Thank you guys so much for subscribing and liking my videos. It definitely helps my channel grow. We are on the way to 1,000 subscribers. Yes, yes, yes. Make sure you are subscribed so you can get all of my content when it drops. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in my next video.